India on an industry level, you mentioned a while back that it's tough time for the hospitality industry in the country. So how do you see the demand for luxury boutique hotels like? Do you think Indians are willing to spend? Where do you see the market going?
So I did not say tough times in terms of revenue and performance because it's the best year for Indian hospitality this year. Okay. I think next year could be a bit challenging because they've already on Indian hospitality revenues are on an all-time lifetime high this year. It's a lifetime high. So how do you go from a lifetime high? Unless you have plans, unless you've thought 10 years out, 12 years out, 15 years out. So I think that's the thing. So I think it's not a really tough time. I said from a design, from building great hotels, which should be coming out of India because now it's an economic superpower, it's a tough time for that hospitality. Because 5 years later, if we don't build great hotels today, there'll be no great hotels in India. And you speak to any top-end traveler globally, he'll say, but I've been to that hotel. Yeah, that hotel opened 20 years back. It's great, but I've been there 3 times already. I don't need to go to India again.
Yeah.
So our point is, and Indians will also say, you know, because Indians are getting affluent, like India will be the largest outbound market in the world in the next 3 to 4 years, outpacing China.
Right.
So if Indians are going out of the country, they'll be saying, where do I go in the country? The best hotels are out of the country, correct?
Right.
So I think I said tough from building perspective, not from a business and revenue perspective. I think it's an absolutely great year. I think all hospitality companies will have a great year. Will hit a lifetime high this year. And next year, they will have to innovate. They'll be pushed harder. Because right now, it's a rising tide, and a rising tide lifts all boats. So all boats are up.
So going forward, you see the Indian hospitality market and you see the demand for luxury boutique hotels going higher up in the country?
It's not about boutique only because, you know, when we do 54 rooms in Tirupati, it really doesn't crosses the boutique angle. I think if you build great hotels, I think people will come. I think if you just build great hotels, people will come from within India, from globally, from everywhere in the world. And if you build hotels in the right destinations. Think about it. If I was to say, Bhavya, and I'll take a risk on this interview and say, have you ever been to Kaziranga? Welcome to the club. Neither have I. So I first time went to Kaziranga when we saw that, signed our hotel in the Durham tea estate. Okay. Have you ever plucked tea leaves and made your own tea?
No.
I have never done it. I did it the first time when I went to the tea estate. So my point is, so much of us haven't actually seen our country. And so much of us haven't explored a destination. Now when we put the postcard in the Durham tea estate, 1 hour away from Kaziranga, 45 minutes away from the mighty Brahmaputra, on the banks of the mighty Brahmaputra, and in the heart of a tea estate, where from your balcony you'll be able to pluck tea leaves, then you will travel there. Because we've kind of put a luxury destination for you. So it's also, I think, a social responsibility for us to put destinations on the map which have been ignored for a long time. And I think that's right. So that's why Goa is always about the postcard Saligao, the village, never north or south. The postcard Kyolem, the postcard Vela, the postcard Hideaway Netravali. Now Netravali is 20 rooms and 20 acres. Who's done that earlier? Generally, if anybody gets 20 acres in Goa, I think they will put 2,000 apartments. Okay, we did 20 rooms because you should see because Goa is not only about the sea, it's also about the Western Ghats.
Right.
It's an absolutely amazing ecosystem for wildlife. Ignored. So I think we have also a social responsibility and also pride from within India to put destinations on the map, like they say, na Bharat dekho.
Yeah.
So hum dikha rahe hain Bharat. So I think that's also a social responsibility that we have.
Okay.